The global balance of power is shifting, and the world is witnessing a transformation that few could have predicted just a decade ago. The BRICS group, once seen as just an economic acronym, is now emerging as a major political force on the world stage, shaping new alliances and challenging established norms. Once dominated by the West, the international system now faces a real challenge from BRICS+, which expanded in 2024-2025 to include Egypt, Iran, and the UAE, nations with significant regional influence and resources. This enlarged bloc now represents not only a vast share of the world's population and economic output, but also a growing share of global ambition, rivaling the G7 in both scale and vision. The rise of China, Russia's resurgence, and the assertiveness of the global South have all fueled this transformation, creating a new sense of momentum and purpose within BRICS+. BRICS+ is no longer content to play by rules set elsewhere. It's building its own institutions, promoting trade in local currencies, and seeking to reduce dependence on Western-dominated financial systems. What's truly historic is the growing interest from within Europe itself, a sign that even traditional Western allies are rethinking old loyalties and exploring new partnerships. European engagement with BRICS+ signals not just economic diversification, but a deeper questioning of alliances, a search for new options, and a willingness to adapt to a changing world. The bloc's expansion is redrawing the lines of global power, blurring the old West versus Rest divide, and creating new opportunities for cooperation and competition alike. By creating alternatives to the World Bank and IMF, BRICS+ is quietly revolutionizing the global order, offering countries more choices and greater agency in shaping their futures. This isn't a loud upheaval, but a steady, pragmatic shift as nations pursue their interests in a multipolar world, forging new paths and alliances along the way. The world map of influence is being redrawn, and for the first time in generations, Europe is starting to pick up the pen, eager to help shape the next chapter of global history. Nothing captures this shift like Turkey's public bid to join BRICS in early 2025. As a NATO member and long-frustrated EU aspirant, Turkey's pivot eastward is a bold signal of dissatisfaction with the West. Years of stalled EU talks and a desire for strategic autonomy have pushed Ankara to seek new partners. BRICS+ offers Turkey a seat among rising powers, free from Western conditions. For NATO, the idea of a member state joining a bloc with Russia and China is deeply unsettling, raising questions about alliance unity and trust. Turkey's move is a warning. Countries are no longer content with rigid alignments, they want flexibility and leverage. The message is clear. In today's world, strategic pragmatism trumps old loyalties. While Turkey's political ambitions often make headlines and spark debate across the globe, a quieter yet significant shift is happening within European media circles, one that could reshape how stories are told and received. In March 2025, Sweden's News Voice joined the TV BRICS International Media Network, marking a rare and notable Western partnership with a BRICS platform and signaling a new era of media collaboration. This isn't just about content sharing. It's about opening Swedish audiences to fresh perspectives from Moscow, Beijing, and other BRICS capitals, broadening the scope of international news. For too long, BRICS stories have been filtered through a Western lens. Now, European media is seeking direct engagement, aiming to provide more balanced and nuanced coverage. Sweden's move, despite its deep EU and NATO ties, shows a willingness to understand the emerging multipolar world on its own terms, and to foster dialogue beyond traditional alliances. News Voice's CEO says the goal is to help Swedes grasp BRICS's growing influence, not to endorse, but to inform, and to encourage critical thinking about global developments. This partnership is a small, but telling crack in the Western media wall, reflecting a growing hunger for diverse viewpoints and a more complete picture of world affairs. As TV BRICS builds a global network, even Western countries are joining the conversation, contributing their voices and learning from others. The media sphere is becoming as multipolar and interconnected as the world it covers, promising richer, more varied narratives for audiences everywhere. Turkey and Sweden aren't outliers, they're part of a broader European trend toward engaging with BRICS+. Across the continent, leaders and thinkers are looking beyond traditional alliances, driven by economic needs and political frustration. The return of America First policies in the US has shaken European confidence in old security guarantees. Strategic autonomy is no longer just talk, it's a necessity. BRICS+ offers access to booming markets and alternative financing, making it an attractive economic partner. The new development bank, for example, provides funding without Western political strings. Europe isn't abandoning its Western identity, but it's hedging its bets in a world where binary choices no longer apply. Countries can be in NATO and the EU, while also engaging with BRICS+. This is the new normal complex, multi-layered relationships in a multipolar world. Europe is adapting, seeking opportunity and resilience in a changing global order. BRICS+ expansion is a direct challenge to the post-Cold War order, not militarily, but systemically. The bloc is building parallel institutions and financial systems, offering an alternative to Western dominance. BRICS+ rejects a rules-based order written without their input, giving members like India, Brazil, and Iran a real voice. Consensus-based decisions and the inclusion of sanctioned states make BRICS+ a haven from Western pressure. For many, it's a way to keep trading and growing despite US or EU sanctions. The rise of BRICS+ marks the end of unipolarity and the start of a more contested, multipolar era. Nations now form flexible coalitions based on interests, not ideology. The West remains powerful, but it's no longer the only game in town. At the heart of BRICS+ strategy is reducing reliance on the US dollar. For decades, the dollar's dominance has given America unmatched leverage over global finance and trade. BRICS+ countries see this as a vulnerability and are pushing for trade in local currencies. The inclusion of major energy producers like the UAE and Iran accelerates this de-dollarization. The new development bank and other BRICS+ institutions are financing projects in local currencies, bypassing the dollar. This shift threatens the petrodollar system and could erode America's ability to project power. A fragmented financial system is emerging, with multiple currency blocks competing for influence. The dollar's reign isn't over, but its future, as the world's anchor, is no longer certain. The economic world is moving toward true multipolarity. By late 2025, the outlines of a new global order are unmistakable. The world's power centers are shifting, and the pace of change is accelerating. Old alliances are being tested, and new partnerships are emerging in unexpected places. Europe's engagement with BRICS+ isn't a blip. It's a sign of lasting realignment. This cooperation signals a willingness to rethink traditional loyalties and adapt to a more multipolar world. The world is splitting into overlapping spheres of influence, demanding new diplomatic agility. Countries must now balance competing interests and navigate a landscape where alliances are no longer set in stone. For the West, treating BRICS+ as an enemy would be a mistake. Engagement and reform are smarter strategies. Building bridges, rather than walls, will be essential for stability and progress. BRICS+ itself faces challenges: internal rivalries, diverse interests, and the need to deliver real benefits. Its members must overcome differences to present a united front and prove their relevance on the world stage. Its promise lies in building a better system, not just critiquing the old one. The future depends on whether BRICS+ can offer genuine alternatives and foster meaningful cooperation. We're entering an age of global pluralism. Power is diffuse, alliances are flexible, and ideologies are less rigid. The rules of the game are being rewritten, and adaptability is more important than ever. Countries like Turkey will navigate between NATO and BRICS, while even Western nations seek new partnerships. The lines between friend and rival are increasingly blurred, requiring constant recalibration. The key is pragmatism and adaptability. Success will belong to those who can adjust quickly and think beyond old frameworks. The old maps are obsolete. Leaders must draw new ones for cooperation and competition. Navigating this new reality requires vision, courage, and a willingness to embrace uncertainty. The post-American world has arrived, and everyone must learn to navigate it, forging new paths in a landscape that is still taking shape.